Hi, thank you for joining us for Fridays with Friends. My name's Brittany Brooks, and I am an Equal Justice Works Fellow sponsored by the Florida Bar Foundation that works at Coast to Coast Legal Aid. My project is called Serving Our Sisters, and it's a program designed to provide legal services to female veterans. It's very exciting, but in honor of Women's History Month, I thought I would first just go over some basic history of women serving in the military. Women have been serving in the military in an unofficial capacity since this country was first founded. In the Revolutionary War, there was a woman named Margaret Corbin who actually disguised herself as a man so that she could accompany her husband onto the front lines of the Battle of Washington. While she was there, she was shot 3 times, yet she continued to man her cannon and fight the enemy. By 1901, the U.S. Army Nurses Corps was finally made, which allowed women to officially enlist in the military without having to disguise themselves or do it on an unofficial basis. Keep in mind, though, this is many years before women even had the right to vote. So we have been fighting for our country before we even have the right to make decisions about what happens in our country. After this corps was created by 1918 in World War I, there were 3,000 American women who were deployed to the European theater with the Army Nurse Corps. But the jobs didn't stop at nursing. Eventually, women would be allowed into all career fields. I myself was an air traffic controller. Now they've gotten rid of the restrictions on women in combat roles. So women, as long as they can pass the test, can serve in almost any career within the military. But there were some special circumstances that came with that too. Female veterans, of course, face very high rates of sexual abuse called military sexual trauma. In fact, 1 in 3 military women will experience military sexual trauma, or as we like to shorten it, MST. Now, there are some things that survivors can do to help heal and new benefits that are recognized for them that weren't always there. For instance, if you experienced an MST and you ended up with a bad discharge, whether it be a less than honorable or you got in some kind of trouble, there's a chance that your discharge could be upgraded based on the circumstances. You just have to get with someone who can work on that. Getting a better discharge helps because it means you qualify for more benefits like the GI Bill and certain VA benefits. So it's worth it to try. There are also special benefits for MST survivors. All VAs now have an MST coordinator that works. It's a social worker usually who works to coordinate services for survivors. They have therapists now that specialize in military sexual trauma. And unlike some of the other benefits, there are different eligibility requirements. If you are a survivor, you can get free care for a physical or mental disability related to MST, even if you wouldn't otherwise qualify for VA benefits. So if for some reason your discharge status, or if you were in the reserves and you have a different amount of time in service that would normally prevent you from receiving services from the VA, as an MST survivor, you can get services from them. The VA's also just become much more female friendly. They even offer maternity benefits right now, which most people don't realize. I personally can help in a couple different ways. I was a social worker before I became a lawyer, so I can provide trauma-informed care to survivors who are needing civil legal services. I can help with your eviction defenses, social security benefits, food security, whether that be food stamps or TANF, name changes, public housing issues, healthcare access, consumer rights, and I can help you in accessing services throughout the county that I might not offer. We have a wide variety of organizations that we work with on a regular basis, so we can help the veteran get the services they need, even if it's not something that we personally provide. There are some important updates to keep in mind, which is exciting because just in the last year alone, the government has made, some great leaps and bounds as far as legislation goes. The first major update to keep in mind is there's no longer a statute of limitations for reporting sexual assault in the military. There used to be a statute of limitations that has gone away. So now, even if you've been out of the service for 20 years, you could still go and report that sexual assault. The new legislation that fell under the Vanessa Guillen Act also made sexual harassment a crime under the UCMJ, which is something that it wasn't before. And it took the decision on whether to prosecute sexual assault cases out of the hands of the service member's commander and into an independent counsel. These are very exciting things because it makes life easier for the survivors. It lowers the chances of retaliation. And it makes the military an environment that's more survivor friendly. It's also important to keep in mind that if you need services from the VA for military sexual trauma, whether it be therapy or something physical, there is no requirement that you had reported the assault. So even if you were afraid to report the assault when it happened, so you just kept it to yourself, it's okay. You can still get services. There's no requirement that that be on the official records books or in your official military file. Women who experience MST are significantly more likely to end up homeless and to be homeless with children with them, which is why we have programs like Serving Our Sisters. That's where the importance of those eviction defenses and helping with public housing come into play. We want to make sure that our survivors have all the resources they need, and that often starts with a safe place to live. If you are a female veteran in need of assistance, or if you know a female veteran who is in need of assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are more than happy to help. If you need services, you can call my number directly, 954-982-6701, or you can even send me an email at bbrooks@legalaid.org. I'm more than happy to help. This is what organizations like ours are here for. We're here to make life easier for those who have served us. So we definitely want to make sure we reach all of the women that we can that are in need of this assistance. If you have any questions, like I said, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of Women's History Month, and you will join us again next Friday for another version of Fridays with Friends. Thank you.